Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of So Recently. I'm one of your hosts, Miranda, and joined with me, as always, my bestie, Matt. Say hi, Matt.
Hey.
And, this one's going to be kind of a special episode because we've already kind of touched on, this topic sort of, in two separate episodes. Mm-hmm. If you take card games and One Piece, you get something that Matt did recently.
Yeah.
Matt, you want to tell us all about it?
Yeah. So I have been, in an effort to not shake my nerdy podcast episodes at all, I've been playing the One Piece card game, which is like a collectible card game, so like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering.
Magic,
yeah. I was like, oh yeah, the other one, the big one.
The big one.
But like that.
Or Gundam.
Yeah, there's so many. So many. But I've been playing One Piece, the card game, for a little while now, and recently, just in kind of regards to this episode, and the reason I wanted to bring it up as a topic, I went to a pre-release event, which is the first time I've ever gone to any sort of kind of like public board game / card game adjacent thing. And it was just a really interesting experience, and it's pretty low-key, but also something that I thought was fun and wanted to talk with you a little bit about, Miranda, because I think it was kind of a cool thing to do, and I don't know if any other listeners play games or card games or anything like that, but I had a really good time with it. So yeah.
So yeah, you said it was your first time ever doing something like this?
Yeah, so
like in a public setting, I guess, because I know you play with friends, but...
Yeah, I play with our friend Nick, primarily, and you make a deck of cards, like, if you're like playing Magic or Pokemon or whatever, you make a deck of cards, and then you shuffle it all up and play a game head-to-head. And that's the same thing for going to an in-person event. This one had a little bit of a different rules format, so we can talk about that, because it is different than like the normal game, but yeah, I played it with strangers, and there was one person I knew there, so like that was kind of my in, is friend of a friend of a friend, essentially, and now someone I've talked to a little bit more now. He plays the One Piece card game. His name's Phil.
Okay.
And had just gone into it and is a lot more into like the card game scene in general. So he plays Magic with friends. I think he's played Pokemon in the past and Yu-Gi-Oh! In the past for sure.
Oh, okay.
And he had said he was like, I'm going to these pre-release events, and I had heard about them before, but had like really no incentive to ever go check them out. And so yeah, basically it's an event that you go to a board game store or a card game store, and you buy into your slot. And what you get from it is you get a bunch of like cards, and then you get to play and compete to potentially win more cards. So it was kind of a way to try out some of the new cards, because it's a pre-release to like the new set of cards that were coming out. So it's a way to try new cards, but also just to, make a deck and see how you do with it.
You know what? I think that's exactly what Chris, our editor, was doing. We ran into him at, I think it was Games Center.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie, so side tangent, my birthday was last weekend. And after brunch, Jamie and I had gone to the Games Center and ran into Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, let me know how you did in the tournament. But he was playing, I think he was doing the Gundam one.
Okay.
Is what he said. So,
okay.
Yeah, just kind of stumbled into that.
Yeah, so there's like different formats, and I guess I don't know what Chris did, but...
I think he mentioned that like their cards were winnable or something, or like certain packs were winnable, or like...
Yeah, and that's probably the case, I think, for all the formats. But yeah, no, so what it is like essentially for this one, there's kind of like two formats to the One Piece card game. I think it's called Constructed, which is you've made your deck, you bring your deck to play, and you just play it in, like a round robin sort of tournament to see who gets the furthest or see who gets the most wins. And then as you're winning, usually if you win the match, you get a pack, and potentially I think in some tournaments, like you can win a whole box of cards. So like a lot more cards, or they might give you like a gift card to the store, or, a variety of different things. So that's what I've been used to playing in the past, but I've never done like that sort of event. So that's something I still would like to try down the road. I just haven't done that yet.
Okay. Can I just say, from my perspective, that sounds horrifying. Like, I don't like talking to strangers. I can't imagine being like, hey, I'm gonna play a game with a complete stranger and like a bunch of strangers. Like, I just don't see the appeal. I'd go watch you play and I'd be like a cheering section for you for sure, man. I got your back, but I can't fathom me being like, yeah, I want to go do that.
I think we've talked about it in the podcast before, but years ago I went to a fighting game tournament called Evo.
Oh yeah.
And played Street Fighter as someone who is definitely a noob and not good at fighting games, and played with strangers. And that was super stressful, but there was like a lot more of a expectation, I think, that I was going to Like I was pretty set on like I'm gonna lose, but when I was like potentially gonna win one of the matches, my heart was like racing. Like I was so stressed. This was interesting because I mentioned constructed. The other format and what I played at this pre-release event is called sealed. So I spent like it was like $30 or whatever. Basically, the person comes out who's running it and it's like, yep, here's the rules, blah 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 blah, and then they give you 6 packs. So it's like packs of cards with it's the new cards. So it's pre-release, so it's the cards that are coming out literally like within the next week or two. And you get a timer and then they say, okay, start going, and you open the packs really quickly and you try and make a deck as quickly as possible. Well, not as quickly as possible. They give you a time limit, but you're supposed to make the best deck with those cards that you can. And there's some like rule stipulations that let you flex around a little bit because the One Piece card game doesn't really facilitate like most card games. There's like different like colors or different like attributes and stuff, and so you can't really just throw together a deck with the normal rules with only 6 packs.
Okay.
So they give you some exceptions on like you can use every color and you can use any leader you want, and they give you like a special leader that makes it work really well with all the colors, which that's more in the weeds of the One Piece game. But yeah, so that's what I did, which that part stressed me out.
Yeah,
that part really
I
stressed me out
bet.
because yeah, I'm not very good at deck building under a time constraint, and this format was very different than like how I've played in the past where I make decks at home and like I'm making a deck for like a week at a time because I'm like thinking about it, or like I start making a deck and I'm like, I'll get back to this, and
Do
I come back to it
you do you
later.
have them spread out on your table and like you're like building them? Because Jamie does
Yeah,
that with the Gundam ones. He'll be like, okay, he has like on our kitchen table. I came home one day and it was just like covered in Gundam cards,
piles
but
of
they were
cards.
all like
Yeah.
sorted in a way, and I was like, hey man,
Same deal.
okay,
Same deal.
all right.
Same deal. So, which I would maybe recommend that he does one of these events too, because I know he's very interested in playing the game.
I'm sure he would like it.
Getting back to you mentioned playing with strangers, I was a lot more stressed actually playing the game with strangers at this than
Yeah.
I thought I would be. But everyone was super nice. So it wasn't like the conversations ahead of time. It was a pretty small group of people. Like it was only like 6 of us who were even
Oh,
there for this
really?
pre-release event. So it was
Oh.
very small. I
Wow.
think there's bigger ones that had happened like earlier in the week at different stores and stuff. But this one was pretty small. But like all the people who were there, like they came up and we like all introed before like we even started playing. So like everyone kind of knew who everyone was, which was helpful. And they're all super friendly. Like that was, I think, one of the highlights is I we can talk about how I played in a bit.
Save the best
But
for
the highlight
last.
definitely
Okay.
was just like, yeah, it was like meeting all the people. They're super friendly, which I always hear like, I don't know if you watch like any sort of like board game or card game creators online and stuff, and they'll talk about like, yeah, going in person and playing with the community is really fun. And I always feel like that's kind of corny, but like it was really fun to meet people who are like, yeah, I like this game and I'm also into this game, and the thing that you think is cool, I think is cool too. So that's why I would highlight it, because it was definitely out of my comfort zone, but like it was really fun and the
That
people
sounds
were really friendly.
I
So
think that sounds a lot better because like I think in my head I was just like, oh God, what if they're like, elitists, but I feel like most people would be like, oh, you're new to the game, I want to share my passion, and
Yeah.
like, oh, let's oh, that was a good card, but maybe next time do this first or something.
Yeah.
Like that's cool.
And I think at these two, it's like it's a local tournament. Like I know there are bigger tournaments where you can go bring your deck, and like they have like regionals and I think like worlds for the One Piece card game where you bring a deck and you're like competing, like it's like 10 games or something in a day, which is at like a high stress level. It's probably a lot worse.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of miserable. But this was pretty chill. Like there was a couple times where I like played a card and I'd be like, oh shoot, like this card doesn't work how I thought it did, and they'd be like, yeah, just take it back, it's okay, like no worries, like whatever, it's not a big deal. So I do feel like everyone, even though like they were there to win, because if you win you get more packs,
Right.
they're super friendly about it. Like they weren't like gonna like rub it in or anything like that. They were just like, trying to help out. There's like a couple times I did plays and they're like, hey, like something I think you could do differently next time is like you could do this instead, because you'd have a pretty safe bet on getting rid of this character or doing
Oh,
damage.
I like that. I like the friendly coaching way of things when you're playing against somebody who clearly has been doing it longer.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, yeah, it can come across as condescending sometimes, but I feel like if you're like in the moment, just be like, hey, by the way,
Yeah, and I think like what I did too is I'm totally fine with that. So
Mhm.
I kind of like coming in was just like, hey, like if I do something stupid, like please tell me so that way next time I don't do
Next
it.
time I
Like
could destroy you.
yeah, like I kind of came in with like I think if you come in and you're just like, hey, listen, like give me feedback, because then if they want to give you feedback, you don't have to have that like awkward like, oh, I didn't want to hear that. Like you kind of invited it.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and it was really fun. And I got some feedback for some of my plays. We can talk about that a little bit. I think I did.
Okay, yeah, wait. Okay, Matt. Okay.
Yes, yeah, okay.
How did you perform at this first time ever playing in public, this tournament? Did you bring home the gold?
No, absolutely
Dang.
not.
All right.
So
Well,
like I said, there's only 6 people. The people I went with, the one person I knew one person, and that's kind of why I went to begin with. But yeah, they all have done more of these, and I think they all had a little bit at least more understanding of the sealed format, which is the one where you build a deck quickly.
okay.
Because the like generic leader you can use, which One Piece has like a leader system. We won't get into the weeds with that, but it has like a system where you have like a character that you play as. So like I'm Luffy or I'm Zoro, and then there's like 100 different leaders, I think. So and some of them are there's like 50 different Luffys, it feels like. There's a lot of different stuff you can do, but some of them work really well for this format, even in spite of the fact that there's certain color restrictions because they don't matter, like you can get away with some cool stuff. So some of them were using different leaders than what I was using, which was just the generic one.
Mhm.
So I think that probably helped a few of them, but I got blown out. Like, well, there was one game I was pretty close to winning, and then there was another game that really it was just I think kind of came down to bad luck. But overall, yeah, definitely learned a lot. It wasn't my best performance, but what's kind of nice is you still get your 6 packs at the beginning, and then if you didn't win, I still got a pack just for participation. And then the 6 packs at the beginning, I mean, you get to keep all the cards. So
Okay.
you're getting the cards early and potentially like you're getting something cool out of it. I actually pulled a really cool card in one of my packs and sold it eventually when
Nice.
it was worth like $80, and now it's gone up, so I'm kind of mad. But
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the stock market. You got to be careful with that, man.
yeah, but it was a cool card, and I was pretty excited because it was like the second pack I opened. I got like a pretty sweet card, and it was fun. So yeah, and then we actually, because it went pretty quick because there was only 6 of us there, they ended up just rerunning it again, and you could join back in. And so yeah, we did it again and got more cards out of it, and yeah, it was actually super cool. I ran into some of the people playing at different store like a week later.
Oh, nice.
So they were doing another pre-release event, but yeah, all of them were super friendly, and I think it was definitely out of my comfort zone, but pretty cool too. So
I mean, hey, I think it's important to get out of your comfort zone every once in a while, too. I mean,
yeah,
that's kind of what this podcast kind of helps me do is like, I'm going to go try something new so I can go talk about it. Like,
yeah, for sure.
but it sounds like it was really fun and that you had fun and you learned a lot too. Like, and you met some
Yeah.
cool people. So I feel like that's a really, really cool experience that you got to do.
Yeah, they were all super chill, and I think the main reason I think it was interesting to me is because like when I play games, I want to do primarily play games with my friends. Like I like playing games to play the games, but usually it's to facilitate me hanging out with people too.
Right, yeah.
So like right now it's like, oh, when I play One Piece, I play with Nick or I play with Phil, or if I'm playing a big cooperative game like you and James and Molly, and if I'm, doing X or Y, like do something with my college roommates and all that. So like there's always like usually people that I'm trying to hang out with. And so this was kind of different to just be like, yeah, these are just random people.
Are you gonna do it again? Are you gonna like meet up with these people, like these specific people that you met?
Yeah, that group.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I would like to do another pre-release event. I might try and get in touch with them because it sounds like Phil has so a lot of them knew each other and like had connections on Facebook, and I don't have a Facebook, so
Right.
I have no way to reach them there. But Phil has their like Discord and stuff, so
Oh, okay.
potentially, and they were cool. I would like to try a constructed event, which is
really?
where I pre-build the deck and bring it.
I think that would be fun.
I think it'd be fun. The issue is, I know with those events, certain decks just tend to do better
Yeah.
because card games are unfortunately
little
all just
broken.
meant to make money, and they're broken.
Yeah.
And so you can do fun things and you can still win based on luck, but there are some like leaders or some deck permutations that are just very strong against a lot of different decks.
Right. Yeah. I've seen that a lot with Pokemon. Like if you have a specific like deck, you're like, I don't lose. like
Right.
unless it's a very unfortunate draw or like it's kind
Like
of
your
insane.
winning percentage is just higher than it should be because it like an even game it'd be like 50-50 and it's however skilled you are, but if the skill's the same it's not always the case.
Can I give a hot take or maybe a cold truth? I don't know
Go for it. Yeah.
what this would be, but if your deck is that good, you're no longer having fun.
Yeah.
Like then you're just playing to win and beat people. Like because I think it's more fun to be like, okay, I know if I use this deck, I will crush you. So I'm going to use this deck and see, like, I'm going to actually battle it out. To me, that sounds more fun and more like, sportsman-like. I get it. There's big tournaments where you want to win.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When people are getting that high of a win streak, it's kind of like, okay, clearly you have the best cards and nobody can touch you. And it's just not fun.
I sort of agree at like a local level for sure. Because like if I wanted to go play, say, so like the new, because we're talking One Piece, there's a new Roronoa Zoro, and he's busted. He feels unbeatable. And I have him, and it's a good deck, and I don't even have like all the cards that people recommend running in it, but it is it feels BS. Like it feels dumb. Like it feels like you're just like, yeah, I do this, and I get free stuff because my leader just does free stuff, and then I play this card which lets him do stuff for free even more.
See, and doesn't that just take away some of the fun? I mean, I get
Yeah.
for bigger tournaments, yeah, absolutely, dominate.
I don't like playing it that much, and I mainly just played that one with Nick because for Constructed I've only ever really played one-on-one with like Nick or
yeah.
a little bit with Phil now too. But yeah, I don't have a ton of fun running that, but I do know at like the high level there is kind of the meta game of people who are really good at the game and people who know what they're doing and also have the money to spend to buy the cards. Because, I mean, there are certain cards that are banned and certain combos that are banned and stuff, but people will go into the thing with the intention of, I'm making a deck that hard counters Zoro. So potentially, if you match up against a lot of Zoros, just due to how the seeding of the tournament works, that deck might be really good. Okay. So there's like the whole like, hey, I'm running the best deck technically because Zoro wins against the most people, let's say, but there's another leader that just is a hard counter to Zoro. So if I just run that instead, then I can like bulldoze any Zoros I come across, and then so the Zoros don't win because people are trying to counter them. So there's like a whole like weird, like
it's kind of like a
not
group.
like just rock paper scissors. It's like I'm building this deck, or I'm coming into this game with the idea that I'm trying to specifically take out anybody who's using the best deck in the game. And these decks counter the best deck in the game, but they suck against the other decks. So I'm hoping that like there's a lot of weird mind game stuff.
Okay, I get it. They're trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna take out the best players for everyone else at the cost of myself, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take them out so those specific decks don't win. Like we don't want the Chiefs to win again, okay? Like
exactly, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it could be just like. It's like that, and then also too, like they could get lucky and still make it through. So like, there's always the weird, like if everyone's running Zoro and then everyone decides to run the hard counter to it, well then actually the hard counter is something that people need to be ready to fight. So then they have to have decks that are ready to do that. So then like when you get to the top level, if there's a bunch of different decks going at it, it's so weird. It's like not how I play the game, but it's really interesting as someone who I don't plan to ever go like that high level.
You're gonna.
No, because people like fly out to tournaments, and I did that with Evo as like a fun thing, but I don't want that to be like something I did more than like once here and there.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it was super fun. I would highly recommend it.
Okay, I was going to ask, would you
not
think
just One Piece either. Like, I think if there's other similar events for other card games, people should do it.
People should do it? Okay. Would you think that Nick would do it with you?
Yeah, I think he wasn't totally... So he wasn't able to come because he was helping out with his family. He was dog sitting. But I told him afterwards about it. And he's like, wait, what? Like, he was like telling me, I was like sharing more details about it. And he thought it sounded cool. So I think he is more interested in doing it next time, potentially. Because they always kind of, for these ones, they coincide the sealed events around release of packs.
Right.
The one thing I'll say is, like, the sealed format in One Piece, I was, like, iffy on. Like, I think it was fun. I still had fun games. But I don't really like the deck building constraints of it, because it kind of felt like, because you're just getting random cards, if you get the best not even the best random cards, but the basic random cards you need to make that game work, you luck out, versus like if you don't, you're kind of screwed. So I'd be more interested in like taking a deck and just seeing how it goes, which kind of, I mean, going back in the day as a kid, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, which,
Oh yeah.
very old school Yu-Gi-Oh as like an 8-year-old. So it's not like, which is insane because that's 20 over 20 years ago now. But
How old are you?
I was like 8 and I'm 30. So yeah, yeah, it's nuts.
Man.
But like I used to go do that and play with random people at like the Shinder's card shop
Oh really?
in Minnesota. Yeah, my dad used to bring me as a kid and like that was fun. So I'm not like opposed to playing random people. And I like to meet people, so I don't really mind talking to them, even if it's like the social anxiety of like meeting new people. That doesn't really hit me. It's more of the nerves of playing badly in front
Yeah,
of new
I think
people.
I think I have the nerves until I'm there and talking to people. I need to like do the vibe check and be like, "Oh, okay, I'm good." Like even if I
Yeah.
know I'm gonna play horribly, I'd be like, "I just need to oh, okay, you're cool. All right, all right." And then it's
Yeah.
fun. But yeah, the thought of going though terrifies me, and I don't know if I can ever do it. That being said, I don't really play the games anyways, so
Yeah.
but I will go if I can cheer on and watch. I would do that.
So you should maybe try it because I know you're not into One Piece in the same way I am.
No, sorry, you tried.
I've tried. I've done my part. Maybe someday I'll try again. But Pokemon, right? Like you collect Pokemon cards,
Sort of.
and we talked about that on a podcast before. You sort of collect them, but
Okay, I would
I
say
don't
I
know.
sort of. I specifically look for cards with where the Pokemon are sleeping because I collect
Yeah.
sleepies. So
Yes.
actually, I have to show you. I have another plushie.
Oh my goodness.
It's-
Okay. Well, we'll show that. You'll have to show me after we're done.
I'll show it after the podcast. I just thought of it.
But yeah, I would recommend, so for like Pokemon, I don't know if you have any interest in playing the actual game, but I would say like doing like some of the events. I think there are like learn to play events. I know for sure they're doing that for One Piece.
I wonder if they're doing that for Gundam.
Probably.
I
And
told
so
James
maybe
that I would play Gundam with him. So
you should. It's similar to One Piece from what I understand about the game too.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so for One Piece, like I know there's a whole event coming up where you go in and you have to buy a learn to play set, which is like 2 decks, and then it has like a guided experience where they show you how the game works, and then you go play in public, and then you like play a couple games with other people, but you're going to an event to play and learn how it works, which I think was, I don't know, it was kind of fun to be in a store and play. Like it was fun to bring my backpack and have my cards and
Yeah.
just set up. I don't know, it's very different. So, and like it was like a whole day thing. Like I was there from like 1 o'clock to 6 or maybe
Oh, wow.
5:30. So maybe not a whole day, but like 4 hours or something.
that's
Like it
still a
was
good
fun.
chunk.
I had
Yeah,
a good time.
that's a good chunk
Yeah.
of your day. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of cool. It just felt like it was like, okay, now like these are the people I'm hanging out with for a couple, hours, and they're chill. So I would recommend doing something similar if you are interested in like learning how to play one of the card games or just want to go try out like Gundam with James. I would say you'd probably get a kick out of it, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It was cool.
Okay,
So-
I'll bring it up to him. Maybe we'll find one and go check it out or something. Or he can enter and I can just watch in the background. And just
Sure, yeah.
But like, yeah, I'll see if he's interested at all in that. And if so,
I would
maybe
do
we
it
go.
with him. It's more of a issue of I don't want to get into another card game because they're expensive. That's the other issue with card games, but that's a whole different topic. So
Yeah, cards are expensive, which is why we've slowed down on Pokemon and actually Gundam and Magic. Because I think I might have to buy the Avatar Magic cards. Matt, it's a problem. I want those so bad.
you should buy them. I think it's
should.
fun. Why not?
They all look so good. Look, and everybody listening, I literally collect the cards just for the art.
Yeah.
Until I maybe do play.
You should probably try Magic with the Avatar cards.
Probably. I mean, I did play Magic with you and Nick and you
Brian
and
back in
Nick.
the day.
Well, I used
Maybe
Nick's
just me and
deck.
Nick.
Yeah, I used Nick's deck, and he stood behind me, and he was like, "Do that and do that," and so I don't really remember how to play, but like,
I played that game for a while and I don't really remember how to play it, but yeah.
I'll learn it for Avatar. I feel like.
I will say, like, card games are very fun. There's something about it, especially if you're not. I think the one benefit of the sealed format versus the way I played it, which is like you open packs and see what you do, versus like coming in with a deck is you can't just like sit there and optimize the heck out of it. Like you have to just make a deck with what you got.
Yeah.
Which like when you first start playing a card game, that's usually how you play it. It's like, oh, I'll put these cards together and see how it works.
See what
and it's
happens.
like definitely not like the most optimal or the the best deck in the world, but it's fun.
Right.
So that was like the benefit, and I would imagine similar events for like Pokemon and Gundam and Magic, of course, too. Probably would be a fun way to play.
You know, I feel like you're just kind of opening into a brand new world. I feel like you're going to get sucked into this card game tournament.
It'd be fun.
Not go all the way, but I feel like this is going to become a thing for you, which is awesome. I mean, it's really fun listening about it because
It's a cool game.
I've never known anyone who does it. So, except for Chris.
Well, hey, yeah. I definitely think playing One Piece has been really, really fun. Like, I have not been into a game in this way in quite a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. I think just like part of the, just sort of a side topic, but like kind of relating to, because we're talking mainly about just going to the event, but just card games in general where you're making a deck. I think like part of the fun of it is you can think about it when you're not playing it. Like you can kind of prep for the next time you play, which is very different to like a board game, which I really love. I love board games. But like a board game, like you're playing it or you're not playing it, right?
Right.
And so like you might think about like a general strategy, but with a card game, you can actually work on your general strategy before you play it. So like there could be
Right.
like a week leading up to the next time you play it where you're like, well, I'm tweaking this and I'm adjusting this, and I don't know. It's just kind of a unique type of game, I guess, which is fun.
So I do have like kind of I guess one more question. And I
Yeah,
can't
sure.
believe I didn't ask it before, but did you have to like sign up? Did you have to pay to get in? Was it like where you had to be invited? Like, how do you get into these?
So yeah, so these ones were just at a store, and so I like on the board game store's website. This was at a local Twin Cities game store. They had a place where you could sign up. And so you sign up on there, you pay them, and you're basically paying for the packs. So it's, I think, a little bit more expensive because you're also just, I think they do it to obviously make money too.
They got to get a little bit
But
on the top, yeah.
yeah, but I got 6 packs and I think it was $35, and usually a pack is like $5, so like $5 extra.
Okay.
Yeah, so not too bad. And then for One Piece, it's weird because you have to like sign in through this Bandai app,
Okay.
which was confusing, but someone helped me do that when I got there.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So yeah, so that was kind of helpful. Otherwise, that was a little confusing. But I think for like Magic and for the other games like it, I mean, I'm sure Gundam is similar because it's also a Bandai game. You register and then you register there, so I think they can like track your stats like globally should you decide to go play at one of their big events.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really know why they need to track like your local store setup, but that's
Interesting.
how they do it.
I mean, that's very interesting. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, but it was cool. I mean, I would like for like 30, I mean, $35, and like I got to play for an hour or so too, and like got the cards, and it was fun. So I would say do it.
And you pulled a good card, too.
Yeah, I think, if you don't pull as good of cards, I'm sure it's less fun, but I also was pretty psyched pulling that card like 1 minute into starting the thing.
Heck yeah.
But even still, like, it was a good time. It was just cool to like be into the game with other people that even though it's like people I didn't know, but it's like, well, hey, we both like the game, so we can like chat about that and then kind of open up from there if we need to.
Well, that's awesome. Man, well, hey, do you have any final thoughts before we close out?
Final thoughts. It was very fun. I'm hoping to do something similar again, so maybe we'll revisit this topic down the road if I ever go back to one of these events.
Oh, heck yeah.
I'm thinking I will. It's more of a matter of my schedule for work and figuring out when I can work around it.
I'm assuming you're about to get real busy.
About to get real busy,
All right.
but
Episodes might be sparse.
maybe for a little bit, but
for a little bit.
about to get real busy, but then hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to start signing up for it, and especially with like the winter months coming up, like
Yeah.
it's like the exact type of hobby that is fun.
You're inside,
So-
you got your hot cocoa or your coffee,
Yeah.
and you're playing
yeah.
One Piece cards. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. So
Super
probably
cozy.
we'll do more. And honestly, I do think it also just like for that type of game specifically does sort of justify your purchase a little bit more, whereas you're still playing a game, but like when you're playing card games and if you're just buying the cards for yourself, it kind of feels like, man, this is a just expensive hobby to be into when it's just like I'm just playing the cards with one of my friends, right? So it's kind of cool to like
It's definitely feels more worth it to go out and play it with people.
Yeah.
Go into the public and play. Like it definitely has that more like value to it.
Yeah. And you get to like I don't know, like learn how you're playing wrong or how you're doing something cool, and like I don't know, it was just fun. So I would highly recommend to any listeners who are interested in doing something like that, especially with anything nerdy they're into, because I think like nerdy hobbies are pretty insular a lot of the times. So it's
Yeah.
fun to be like, hey, like go do this nerdy thing. It's still nerdy, but
Do
you're doing it
it.
with people you don't know, and then you just get to meet some people. So yeah, highly recommend. It was fun.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. That was super interesting actually. I wasn't sure what to expect. And I know you were like this is probably going to be a short episode, but
Yeah, we talked for a decent amount of time.
yeah, that was
We're pro
awesome.
podcasters.
Yeah, we are pro.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for sharing your story. And listeners, join us hopefully next week or whenever our next podcast comes out. Who knows? With another topic. I got to come up with something to follow this one. I feel the pressure. But thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. Comment, like, I don't know, all that.
The whole thing.
The whole
Do
thing.
The whole thing.
And we will, well, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
See y'all later.